I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Send me a request, Tramel. I don't know how to work Instagram. I don't know how to work this tired ass app. Yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. The shit is just a friend. I think I just sent it. Or accepted it.
Hello.
Yo!
Hey.
Fuck, first of all, why you looking like a ratchet ass Arabian?
King Adu.
I do.
King Abdul Jabbar Thingamajiggity.
You look nice. Where you going?
I'm going out to eat. A friend of mine said he wanted to take me out because, you know, my single dropped today and I did a really good job on it.
Congratulations. Hold on. Can we cuss on Instagram?
Yes.
Okay.
They might block you if somebody don't like it.
Okay.
And he's looking for me right now. So what's up?
Congratulations. That's dope.
Thank you.
And that's the single to the naked ass D'Angelo inspired video you did, right?
Absolutely not. It's a new single. It's about my love life.
Wait a minute. The new single, are we complete with the ain't the other single just dropped?
No, it's been out for 2 years.
You a damn lie. Shut your mouth, Tramel.
That song has been out for 2 years. Most people don't know that. It was called Favorite. It's been out since 2021. And I just did a video for it recently because I just felt the need to, you know, as an independent artist, you can take your time and do these type of things. But that song is old, and I'm on to something new now.
Okay, but I'm surprised you took your independent artist funding to create a video for a single that was 2 years freaking old.
Yeah, because everybody loves the song, and now it's been refurbished, and everybody really loves the song now again.
Okay.
And it's attracting new attention. I'm trying to get people to see all of my music. Most people don't know that independent artists do music unless you're just like consistently refurbishing it. So I just wanted to refurbish it. I'm actually doing another video for another single from that project that's been out for a year now this weekend. And I have a new single out. It's more like, you know, moving into a new era of my life. So I'm just wrapping up one old era, and I won't be doing any videos from those.
But you're tying up some loose ends to begin.
I'm tying up some good loose ends. You know, these songs need to be heard by people. Favorite was a really good song. I will always love that song. Most of the songs that I've created, I mean, I love all my songs, obviously, but there are some songs that just really have an impact, and I feel like people could really be lifetime enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? It's not just like a boppy for a second. It's actually some good shit that you can play for the rest of your life.
How would you describe your style of music? Like, what genre would you say fits your music?
I think I'm like R&B pop.
R&B pop, okay.
But now I'm starting to go more into a soul category. Like I'm doing a lot more like earthy R&B this time around.
You old Mr. Gray ass biatch.
No, I'm trying to be like more like a Summer Walker.
Oh, you a ratchet earthy biatch.
Yeah.
Got it. Nice.
But not to take any attention away because I really have to go in like 5 seconds.
Yes, you do. Okay, so we got 5 minutes to talk about the situation that's been going viral. So clearly you probably have heard about the whole Blueface drama with his 3-year-old son.
He is 6.
Did you? He's 6?
He's 5 or 6.
See,
I believe he's 6.
The children I raised start walking and can pay bills at 3. So.
Oh, okay. Well, not that one.
Okay, got it. So what was your impression? Well, for those who don't know yet, there's a video that went viral of delinquent incel Blueface looking for his son who happened to be in a pantry getting some oodles and noodles or some Roman noodles or a lollipop or some shit, and he was asking his 6-year-old son why he left the area where all the coochie popping heathen whores were, who were shaking their ass and popping their puss on the handstand, and because the 6-year-old boy went to go do 6-year-old things in the pantry, and him thinking that that somehow was very bizarre, he started berating his son with questions about whether he's GUA, and started dog piling on to him about how he hoped he's not GUA. You ain't GUA, is it? You ain't GUA, is it? And his son is looking confused because at this point, his daddy might as well should have been speaking Spanglish, should have been speaking Arabian growl, okay? Because he's like, girl, what is the T? And he eventually realizes that his dad wants him to say he is not queer. I don't know where the hell Tramel went. Boost mobile tees, partial payments. Y'all know how the Atlanta niggas give it up, child. Okay? So the son is like, no, I'm not gay. And then, of course, this creates, you know, a firestorm of conversation on social media. I think we got Mr. G-Status, the king, back. What's going on, Doc? Hey. Okay, we got it.
Oh, you really tried it with that whole the Atlanta niggas thing.
So what are your thoughts quickly? Like, did you feel offended by this? Did you think it was a big deal? Did you think social media was overreacting? Like, what did you think about Blueface questioning his son that way?
I think it is highly inappropriate to have a 6-year-old young man, baby. He was a little baby, and you worried about him looking at grown women shake their asses in front of him. And because he's not interested in those type of things, because he knows nothing of sexuality at this particular juncture of his life, whether he's gay or straight or whatever the case, non-binary or any of the other parts of the LGBTQIA community, like, he hasn't figured that out yet. He don't know nothing about that. And y'all should not be exposing him to any of that at this particular time. If I was a parent, I wouldn't. But I just think it's very weird. It was inappropriate. It was just like, but you know, what else can you expect from somebody who's like a child himself? Like, he's only 26 or 27 years old himself. So he's like, he doesn't have any forward thinking behavior.
The excuse you gonna give Blueface?
I'm going to give him the excuse of he's a young idiot. And he does everything on Instagram. He does all of these things for shock value. So him doing this was like not abnormal, but for him, it was just that's normal behavior for him. But sadly, I feel bad for the little boy. I just really feel bad for him. He really just be trying to live his little life. He was just trying to go find some chips.
That part.
He was trying to find
some potatoes, some mac and cheese.
Now he just wanted some chips, and then they had their 1-year-old daughter like on the couch while them ladies was shaking their ass in her face.
And it's also spring. Who the fuck want to be around 10 pussies that are popping in one concentrated area? I mean, it's no telling.
I mean,
how that changes
to be perfectly
the
honest,
molecular structure of the atmosphere. I mean, it's that's a mess. Now, my other question to you is, allegedly CPS was called on him. Do you consider what he did child abuse?
Absolutely.
So you think CPS was justified then?
Yeah. You can't have children around.
They don't. They got obvious face because it's a lot of people who were like,
they're stupid.
Ain't overreacting.
Yeah, okay.
Child abuse and how is this?
How old do you have to be to go up into a sex club or a strip club? How old do you have to be?
Is it 18 or 21?
I believe it's 18 to go up. Well, if they're gonna be serving liquor, it's 21, right?
Because I was up in the.
You pretty much had he had a whole strip club at his house.
Yeah, that's true.
And you got a 6-year-old up in there. That is sexual abuse.
Yeah. Craig, I want you to stay around because I want you to send me a request to come up here, Craig. Because
But yeah, I
Tramel
gotta go. I'm
gotta
about to
go.
cross the street.
Because Tramel gotta go because his friend invited him to Bojangles, so they
We're going to
acting fancy, girl. Go
Bojangles.
get a Bojangles meal, child. You
We
know the Atlanta girls take
actually
the
going to another B word. It's called Boogaloo.
Boogaloo.
He
Is
about to
that
get
the
hit by a
name?
car.
Is
I'm walking across the street like a
is that what
goddamn
y'all calling
idiot.
Bojangles these days? Is Boogaloo?
Yeah, Boogaloo. I think they serve fried chicken
Of
here
course
too.
they do. Well, thank you for joining. We need to like link up and do some talking to the social media. So
Yeah. Next time you do a live, let me know in advance, and I can definitely be set up for
well,
the
how about you
situation.
call?
I love your topics.
Well, how about you call me when you leave Bojangles
I will. I'm gonna call you
or
when I leave.
Popeyes?
I'll be home around about 9ish, maybe 10.
Okay, cool. Okay, well,
Okay.
call me.
All
All
right.
right, bye. Craig, send me a request, Norga. Craig be trying to look pretty for a white boy, girl. Okay, he be trying to compete with my beauty when I invite him on cam, because you know these bitches could never. This situation with Blueface is expected. He's ignorant. He's indignant, and I agree with Tramel. I agree. I agree with CPS being called because growing up, growing up gay in a system, a family, a society that ain't with the shits, baby, that shit is rough. Hi, officially, G.O. G.O., do you want to come up and speak to this Blueface shit? Because there's a lot going on, okay? I appreciate some of the clapback energy from. I'm happy, Doc. Doc says CTV, you're glowing. I am happy. I'm in a great place. I can't stop talking about my dietary change because I am off of meat and I just feel really good. And I just feel like everything got better when I got on a plant-based diet. And I just feel like I'm at that place in my life where it feels good to be an adult. And I actually feel like I'm adulting successfully. And I don't have any stress in my life. I don't got no nigga sucking on my fucking energy and my life essence. I ain't got no weird ass, toxic ass, lopsided ass friendships with people. Like I really went on an entire life diet at the start of this year. And I had been kind of making small changes to just my life and curating and editing it in a way that was really supportive of my happiness. And I developed the self-love and the self-encouragement to get rid of toxic people that I love and to reappropriate those relationships and not make excuses and blame why I felt the way I felt sometime on other people when it was me hoarding those people in my life that also contributed to the way that I felt. So I had to take responsibility for my inability to let go of things that really was not serving me in the capacity in which they should have and in which I was reciprocating what was going out. So everything is coming full circle, and I couldn't be more fulfilled at this point. I'm a little scared for myself because I'm kind of not recognizing myself, but I'm happy and I can't complain. Your skin, your hair shows, of course, them pearly whites. Okay, I think I got lipstick on these fucking pearly whites. Look at how much lip. I got my teeth done last year, and nobody told me I would have a lipstick problem. I feel like I have more of a lipstick problem with these girls than I did my fucking natural teeth. But yeah, I'm loving all this. But you know I support you always. Are you going to come up here officially, G.O., and talk about this Blueface shit, girl? Y'all see, girl, I got another ginger wig hanging from the raptures, girl. Let me see. Let me pull her down. This is my 30-inch. This is my 30-inch, bitch, girl. I told you Ice Spice got me obsessed with ginger, girl. I got ginger in 30 inches. B.O.B. So you calling it a bob? Ginger and Miss Bob? I done lost my ginger ass mind, like I stated. Doc says, so happy for you. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The dog says, sitting there looking like a whole meal. I got to focus on the message. Focus on the message. Nope, I can't stand that child. Come up here, send me a request, and come talk about it. She's fire. Thank you, Dr. Ginger is everything. She is. Nobody told me about this color, and I'm kind of like mad about it because I got. Let me show y'all something, bitch. I got units upon units upon units upon units upon units. I'm literally in my vanity room where all my wardrobe, hair, makeup, shoes, sneakers. I mean, I got every color known to man, and nobody told me about Miss Ginger. Nobody. And now I think I done found like the color of all colors, okay? King Jives, bring your ass up here. Hit the request. Come tell me how you feel about Blueface and this drama with his son. And you know, CPS allegedly got involved. And they came and checked out the kitchen, the stove, checked under the beds, baby. Okay, making sure that WIC voucher was not fraudulent, and came and investigated. I don't even know what concluded of the investigation. CTV, any color looks good on you. Thank you so much. We are about to have the king on board the situation. CTV, hold on. I do not know how to work Instagram. Hi.
Hey,
What you doing?
I'm just leaving a Democratic caucus meeting. It's hot as fuck. But you said about Blueface?
Yes. Like, what do you think about the whole like, are you GUAY? Like, are you GUAY? Yeah, are you GUAY? And them calling CPS. Like, do you think it was child abuse?
Okay, so first of all, I watched the video. Let me just say that. I did watch it. I was so confused at the fact that you got a child that's in the pantry looking for, doing what a child does, looking for something to eat. And then because he's not in there playing with a grown-ass woman, are you gay? I thought it was the dumbest thing. I was like, I said, nigga, what is... I was confused. I really was. I was confused. Not really, but I was confused. Like, what does being gay have to do with a child doing what a child does? Because you want...
Because he left the bussy bopping session that was going on in the front room, and that had to mean that he was not interested in women's, allegedly.
He was interested in cookies.
That part.
Cookies, cakes, and Cheez-It crackers. That's what he was interested in.
His daddy wanted him to be interested in the other type of cakes. He already had cakes in the front room.
What's the boy, 5?
6, apparently.
Okay, 6. Like, the child does not know anything about vagina or what the fuck to do with it. And it's like just this whole heterosexual normative masculinity thing. It's just like they're pushing stuff on kids. And I'm like, I'm just speaking for myself. I don't remember the last time that I'm pushing homosexual things off on people.
Not the last time. Probably because it never occurred.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember the last time I pushed somebody, oh, be gay. Be gay. Oh my God. Come fuck a nigga in the ass. Come get some dick. And then as far as somebody calling CPS, I don't know about that. Like, I mean, well, you know what? I take that back. I think they should have called CPS on this raggedy ass. Because why the fuck you want your child in there playing with a grown ass woman? That's nasty.
I heard that we can't do a lot of cursing on Instagram, apparently.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. Praise the Lord. But they can be on here praying and he son, right? Okay. Right. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I was going to ask you, how old were you when anybody inquired about your sexuality? Like, do you remember the first time anybody even like made any type of remark that had to do with your orientation?
Well, I know when I was younger, like in elementary, middle school and stuff, people say, oh my God, you're acting gay. I mean, I don't really think that really counts. But I know when I got older, the one person that did say something to me, I was in my 30s. Now, in my early 20s, I was grown in college and stuff like that. Of course, you had your little cliques. Are you gay? Are you gay? Yeah. And then in the church, it would be such like if you gay, I ain't gonna tell nobody. It would be things like that. But nobody really cared. I mean, maybe I was in a different place, but nobody really cared because it was like, you do you, I do me. But in some church settings, it was like, you do something a little different. Are you gay? Because my pastor asked me, and I'm like, nigga, why you asking me when I can clearly see your teeth?
A pastor asked about your sexuality? He asked your orientation? Really? How old were you?
I was 20. I was 24.
He wanted some pussy. Guy.
Whoa!
Would you have sat on his lap in the confessional booth and confessed your sin?
Let me take my blue.
Punish you too.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Honestly, I wouldn't have done that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't have done it because I at that moment and time, I had too much respect for he and his wife, and so I called them mom and dad. Right? We had this little family thing in church. I called them mom and dad. So I didn't feel okay with screwing around with my leaders because I didn't agree with that. I thought that was a whole no.
Does it count if your leader was your boy? Does it count if your leader was your boyfriend first?
Oh, I didn't play them games. Oh no. You know what? Maybe that's
I need to know if
I didn't really go too far in the ministry like I wanted to, because I was freaking the pastor. Because baby, I knew a whole bunch of grizz that was out here sucking and ducking and baby.
I'm trying to figure out if mine's counted, because my leader was my nougat before he became a leader, so does it still count? Before he found the Lord, he found me.
Well, see, it's
the bedroom getting nasty.
Well, see, it's the thing where
holy time, Jives.
I've had my little soirees with some preachers. You know what I'm saying? I've had my soirees. But I promise you, now here's my thing about it. I can't sit up under a preacher that's screwing and sucking and doing everything, and then you want to get up in the pulpit and bash. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I cannot do it.
Okay.
Because
you can't do Eddie Long.
Huh? No,
you can't do Eddie Long. No.
I can't do no Eddie Long. No. Because I'm going to look at you cockeyed and crazy like, but you was just on this dick. Okay.
With all the ish.
With all of it, okay?
I'm going to tell you what my issue is. For the people who feel a way about CPS and all of this and the outrage, it'd be the hypocrisy for me. If Saucy Santana had put his 6-year-old nephew aside and said, why did you leave the room full of twerking men? You're not straight, is you? And if the roles would have been reversed, see, there would have been a congressional hearing, and Lil Nas X or Saucy Santana ass would have been having to get buy-in to petition their freedom, because it would have been on. But I know the reason why the consensus is not as loud as it would have been had one of us been in that position is because the majority of people identify as heterosexual, therefore have a bias toward the grooming, which is what it should have been considered as it relates to Mr. Blueface, because that was grooming. That what we saw was the cis hetero agenda.
Well, not only was it grooming, but I want to say it's a sense of pedophilia, because why is it that you want a 6-year-old patting and rubbing on a grown behind woman? That's pedophile. And those women that were there that were dancing and twerking around them kids need that locked up, because that's not okay. Like, how do you feel comfortable putting your pussy in some child's face? Like,
It was given.
that's not okay.
It was given little Boosie ideology
Yeah,
real quick. Here's another one.
like but you know what? You know, it's to what you said earlier. It's like, you know, they're okay with as long as it's a male and a female. But if it's two dudes or two females, oh my God, let's march against the gays. No, like this stuff is wrong. Like if it's a child, leave the children alone. Nobody's out here trying to make a child gay. Nobody's trying to make a child, well, I don't know if y'all trying to make them straight. But ain't nobody trying to make
They
nobody's child
definitely
gay.
trying to make them straight, which is why the sexualization of boys and girls start at a very young age. In our community, like rather than focus on raising good people, they focus on not raising gay people.
So I'll say this: when I was younger, you know, I'm a church kid, so you know my life is a little different. So you know, my uncles and them used to always ask me, "You got your dick wet? You know, you done got you some little, you know, some coochie yet, or whatever." All the men used to ask that type of stuff. So I was always a kid, like I thought having sex was so wrong that that if I had sex, I was going straight to hell. Wow. So I never had sex. I didn't have sex till I was like 24. And so, I mean, the reason why I had sex is because I found out everybody else in the pulpit and everybody else around me was having sex. So I went in for real. And I was like, you know, I was like, okay, it was good. So I was like, okay, I woke up the next day, didn't go to hell. Okay, gonna go get some more. So, you know, when I figured out,
so you was on your way to hell fast.
You know, hey, you know, I was going to hell feeling good.
Jesus Christ. So even that fear mongering and indoctrination starts at an early age.
It really does start in an early age because, you know, even when I was 18, I called myself trying to date this girl, and I was 18, she was 16. It was like, oh my God, you can't date her. I was like, but we like each other. Like, oh, you too old for her. It was 2 years apart. And so they tried to get, you know, I hate to say it like this, but they tried to get me to date this girl that looked like a nigga. And I was like, if you want me to date a man,
because they were trying to get you the baby steps, okay? Okay, we can
you gonna give me the baby step with an undercover lesbian?
Yeah. It's called the transition period. They're trying to wean you off the homosexuality by giving you a masculine ass woman.
So, you know, I'm gonna tell you something. What it did for me was, I don't know, I was like kind of attracted to, it's gotta be a feminine lesbian. Like they are so.
Okay, hold on. Why a lesbian?
I mean, like, I like niggas, right?
No,
like, I like dudes.
I mean, she couldn't be a feminine straight woman. Like, she got to be a feminine lesbian specifically.
Oh, no, I can look at a girl and, you know, she's fine to me. But, like,
okay, so she just got to be feminine, not necessarily lesbian. It's been, like, lately. Eating no carpet.
Huh?
She ain't got to be eating no carpet.
Well, I'm not.
She just got to be,
well, see,
she just got to be feminine and pretty.
Here's the thing. I haven't done anything yet. First of all, it's the.
Hold on, you ain't done nothing yet. Why y'all get saved before y'all done like got experience all the sin there is? Like when I got saved,
I got the Lord.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all be giving y'all life to God before y'all find out exactly everything the devil made out of. I had to live fully. And then
well, I mean, I'm not. Listen. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. So I was never like 100% attracted to females. Like I did it because that's what I was told to do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was never like, oh, I see some pussy, I'm like, ugh. Cause I'm gonna tell you, I can look at it and be like, damn, like. And so, but I know what I'm attracted to.
Right.
So I'm just like, if that ever was to happen, it would have to be somebody that I'm attracted to and that does something for me. Where I am in my sexuality and in my life is I'm not restricted based upon I'm gay, I'm straight, I'm bisexual, whatever. Whatever floats my boat is whatever floats my boat. Now, I mean, there are some things I don't like. I'm not attracted to, I don't want to say I'm not attracted to trans girls because some of them are fine too. But it's just like whatever floats my boat, floats my boat. But you know, it's something where that's my life. You're not gonna force me
So
into a
I got
box.
a theory then. How do you feel about this? I think that all tops in our community have the capacity to be bisexual.
Wait. You mean they have the capacity to bottom?
No, to be bisexual.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay, so listen slowly.
I'm listening slow and fast.
I think all the tops in our community, everybody who identifies as a top, identify as the giver,
Okay.
has the capacity to be bisexual.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Because all you're doing is just sticking your dick in something. So, I mean, yeah, you can stick your dick in some...
Especially if you are a top who has a proclivity toward femininity. You like your men feminine, you like your boys on the twirl side, etc. Definitely leaning into the pan bisexual arena.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Now, getting back to Blueface situation.
Hi, Auntie Gina.
I just think that this shit is just... I'm not shocked because, like you said, my uncles... I don't know if this is considered grooming, but I remember... No, I'm talking about in terms of what I'm about to say about my experience of growing up. When I was growing up, like, my uncle said the same shit. Like, they was concerned about, like, okay, like, you done had your first piece of poo nanny, and, you know, you got a girlfriend. I also saw the misogyny in it, too, because they wasn't asking the girls in the family if they had boyfriends and had their little piece of peen yet. Like, it was that also double standard within all of that as well. But I find it's very concerning how hypersexual cis hetero men are, and that's also why I do not take the homophobic outrage seriously. Like, we're talking about, these people are literally practically banning queer people in Florida, and yet people feel like the LGBT community is overreacting to Blueface, simply what they would call simply inquiring or asking his son what was the problem. The problem, once again, is if the shoes were reversed, y'all would be dragging these children out of the homes and claiming that there's a gay agenda and claiming that queer people are perverse, etc. And why we can't let the kids be the damn kids. And here it is. Blueface is a grown-ass man who is expecting his 6-year-old to know what it even means for a woman's buttocks to even be gyrating and Uchi popping, which also tells us what he's attempting to teach his 6-year-old son. That he's already, not only is he sexualizing his son, he's introducing the misogyny into his son that teaches his son that women are also reduced to their genitalia and that they are sexual objects, and this type of like objectification is beginning at an early age. Like, Blueface gives me the type of nigga who probably would make his son sit there and watch PORN, who would sit there and make his son and would literally like illustrate to his son on TV, like, those are titties, that's pussy, you get you some at an early, like, he gives me like hooked on phonics sexuality instructor to 6-year-old, which is why I'm here for them lighting his ass up and getting CPS involved. But my bigger question is, what are we going to do about this issue of hypersexuality in the Black community? Where do you think the solution starts?
So first of all, let me say this: if Blueface, no, I can't even say it. Like, what's going on, man? If Christian, whatever her name is, if she had a bunch of dudes in the room gyrating and twerking, and they had a little girl, and she said, "Come on in here and let this," we would want the dude who was twerking on the little girl to go to jail. It's the same thing. We want to sit out here and make a big deal out of Blueface, which we should. But it's the same thing when it goes down to, you know, well, what if the roles were reversed and it was a girl that was in the pantry and she was trying to get some cookies and cakes and
Is that
pies, and they had some dudes in there twerking on some women and carrying on? It's the same thing. All of this stuff is wrong.
They
All of
would
this
be
stuff is
calling that
wrong.
nigga R. Kelly.
Yeah, all of this stuff is wrong and it should not be done. And we sit out here and we play games with it and we patty cake with this stuff like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's nothing. I mean, at least she was a girl or blue. No, it's wrong. Like, it's really wrong. And it should not be done. A child should be a child. A child should stay in a child's place. A child should not be in a what PORN place where they doing dangling all that stuff. A child should have a chance to be a child. Now the same instance when it comes down to all this other stuff. Like if the child wants to be involved in parades, these are things that the child wants to do. Our black community, because you brought this up, I think our black community is so backwards when it comes down to it, and we're so consistently.
You know why though? Because of pale supremacy, we have been a sexualized ethnic group ourselves. We were over sexualized.
Yeah.
We experienced a lot of sexual abuse, a lot of sexual trauma, and we kind of have a collective warped sense of sexuality and all of its nuance.
Correct, I agree.
John, I feel so bad for us as a black people because it seems like every issue on the board for us is so complicated and it's warped in all this psychological, spiritual, and emotional damage that's been systemically done to our community. And sometimes when I think about, girl, how do we heal and liberate ourselves from this? Sometimes I feel like it's so many issues. And the F-ish is so multifaceted that I don't know where to start. And your
So
booth
what
mobile is picking up.
Hold on. Well, I'm just walking in the house. So I feel like this. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I feel like this. As far as our community goes, I feel like we allow this stuff to happen. And so when we decide to think outside the box and think outside this Christianity thing, because our life, our whole construct was never based upon Christianity. It was never based upon homosexuality and who is gay and all this stuff like that. The people who are stuck in Christianity and stuff like that, they forget about where history comes from. And so when we get, hold on one second. Hey Siri, turn master bedroom lights on. Okay. So, sorry. So when we decide to get outside the box and get outside of our Bibles and think and read for ourselves, then we'll truly understand who we are and what we are. And this whole Christianity, this Bible, all of this stuff, it's very much so a way of control. And I don't believe a lot of the things that we say is true. I'm serious. I'm at a point in my life.
What do you no longer believe now as a Christian?
I'm at a point where I'm almost ready to say I'll tell you that. I don't believe that a lot of this stuff is sin. And I'm almost to a point to where I want to just say sin is bullshit. There's just right, wrong. Because I think sin was put in play to just sit up here and say, if you sin, you going to hell. I mean, like, if you think wrong, you're going to hell. If you ride a bicycle, shit, you're going wrong, you're going to hell. All this sin construct, I just believe in right and wrong.
But then the next question becomes, what is right and wrong, and who gets to define right and wrong? Because all sin means from a biblical perspective is to miss the bullseye. Whatever the bullseye is.
For me, when I think of what's right and wrong, I feel like this right here. I feel like if you're doing something that can hurt you, that's wrong. If you're touching children and you're an adult, that's wrong. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. I feel like when it's just if you're going to be smoking meth if you're going to be smoking meth and you know that it's going to affect your body the wrong way, you shouldn't be doing it. That's wrong. You shouldn't do it. That's how I feel. I feel like when we get outside of, well, what the Bible say, because it's so much stuff in that Bible. I feel that believing in a higher power, God, the Creator, Yahweh, I feel like He placed us, He, she, it placed us here, and all of this stuff that we're doing. I feel that some days that it's just looking at us like, what the hell y'all doing? That's how I honestly feel. That's just me. Now, am I pushing it off on nobody? No. Would I get up in the pulpit and tell somebody all? No, because I feel like what my beliefs are my beliefs.
So what about the
How I
person who believes that a man making love to another man and putting his genitalia inside of a hole designed for waste is incorrect? It's incorrect on anatomy and
well,
autonomy
I
level,
would tell
and
I would tell
it
that person I would tell that
somebody
person like this.
will say, why would God approve of you putting your penis into a sewer, brother?
Well, I would say like this right here.
You
How
think
I
you think that Christ shed his blood so that your penis, brother
well,
Jives?
I don't think Christ is in the room or is concerned how I make love, because if
I
it really if
beg
you
the
really
devil.
okay, well, you could beg the differ all day long. How I choose to make love is how I choose to make love.
Christ,
Now,
no,
just
Christ.
because
That's so sacrilege.
how you feel, I
The
should make
spirit is
love.
always in the room when I'm making love to my
Oh
man.
well, you know, if the spirit is in the room, listen here, listen. We have no
We
one good session.
conjure the spirit.
Oh, okay, listen. We call on enough of
Come and die
Jesus.
forth.
Oh my God, yes. Oh Jesus. Oh
See how you call
yeah.
upon the See how you call upon the Father, Son, and the Holy Daughter? Why you think we call upon his name, baby?
Cause it's good.
That's the physical glory and manifestation of that
Oh,
and thee. But
my,
anyway,
my.
yeah.
Oh, is you stripping?
No, I'm buttoning up my
Officer, you try to have most. You can't do that
I'm
on
talking
live with the peoples.
the shit I be seeing in my algorithm, and we can't strip on
You ain't never
Instagram.
lied, cause baby, I just seen Mo booty in the camera, dick prints, dick. You might as well just pull it out on the camera.
Ain't they got 4 from Black Ink Crew around here dressed up like Peppa Pig and being dog walked like a German Shepherd out here in the algorithm of Instagram?
Jesus.
Are you proud of 4, Jives? Because I feel like 4 is one great step for him, like one small step for 4, one great step for Black cis
I don't
hetero.
know who that is. You
4
got
from
to send
Black
it to me.
Ink Crew. You never watched Black Ink Crew?
I've seen it one time. That's it.
Okay, well there's like a big tattooed heathen on the show who
Wait,
was
hold
the
on. Hold on. I take that back.
mm-hmm.
Isn't 4 on Instagram? I mean, on Twitter. Isn't he like a porn star?
Now he is,
Oh,
yes.
I've seen him before.
Yeah. He got his store on
And he getting
Black Ink
plowed.
Crew. Huh?
There's a Thor. There's a 4 that I've seen. He's getting plowed or plowing or something like that.
Yeah, he get pegged and legged and fled and
I applaud.
yeah.
I applaud him. Amen. I applaud him. Yes.
Yeah. Did he be dressed up like your favorite cartoon characters in childhood memories? Yes. Getting banged all in his
I
ass.
think I've seen him. I think I've saved him quite a few times. Amen. Yeah.
4 did he had a conversation with Candy and they got into like conversation around sexuality and stuff, and he was talking about like how a lot of Black cis hetero men reached out to him and congratulated him and thanked him for coming out with the fact that he liked a hard piece of plastic in his ass by a woman, and he liked his G spot to explode and implode like the submersible in a specific ocean of things, and that he like dressing up like old McDonald had a farm animals, E-I-E-I-O and things, and that he's very submissive and trans attracted, but he indeed is not into the pussy cat. He is not into the men's girl, but he is into cis woman and trans woman, whether she pre or post op, and he does like it up his ass.
So I'll say this. I feel like this. As long as it's a person
Of age. Yes, of course.
If this is something that you're into, something that you like, baby, if you want to have sex with 2 women, 2 men, 1 man, 1 woman, 2 men, you and another man, whatever, listen, as long as it's age appropriate and consensual, period. And that's just where I leave it. All of this, we need to do this, and this is immoral. Listen.
But what about the fact that cis men been walking around here holding in this big ass secret that they actually be crying themselves to sleep at night because no black woman wants a black man who want a pussy pop on a handstand wearing red Mario boots while getting a rim job?
Wait a minute, what?
Okay.
So no woman wants to put on a costume.
No, specifically, no black woman. The fact that black men been crying themselves to sleep because they've been holding in this deep secret collectively.
So they got to finish.
That they are miserable because they have not been able to stand in the brilliance and also be seen as completely competent and manly and whole and valuable and masculine if they were able to admit and could admit that they love to pop they pussy on a handstand while wearing those infamous red Chief Mario Brother boots while getting a rim job.
Listen, if that's what you choose, if that's what you like, go for it. Find you a woman that's into all of that foo-la-la. And I'm not saying that foo-la-la is a bad thing. I'm saying it finds you somebody who is just as freaky as you, whether male or female. If you like that, cool. If you a straight man, cis straight man, and you are into nothing but females, but you like to do extracurricular activities. You like somebody eating the twat out. Find you somebody who's into that. You know what I'm saying? Because there are females out here who will eat you, stick you, plow you, everything. You know, treat you like a straight up nigga.
Okay, so let's take it a step further. Because, I have these type of progressive, wild-ass conversations on my platform.
Okay, so I want to first say I do like this hair. This is real cute. I saw it on a live earlier. It is cute, though.
Thank you. She in her mood. So, let's take it a step further because I have these, wild-ass progressive topics and conversations on my platform all the time. And
Cause you got a guard in your mouth?
No. A guard?
You got white strips?
No. I got new teeth in my mouth.
Oh, you got new teeth?
That I've been getting used to. Yeah.
Oh, you got the little thing, the little push-up thing?
No, bitch. I got teeth plunged into my damn gum.
Oh, you got porcelains?
I got veneers. I got implants.
Oh, rich bitch! Oh no!
I got rich bitch shit that coming up this year. So I was like, girl, let me get my teeth done, girl, because we living in Miss 4K, we living in Miss 20K with these cameras and shit gonna be all out in here. So I said,
you gonna give me some teeth in my mouth then?
I got a friend who owns a dentistry in South Carolina, so I was able to get them done on friendship favor. So if you want them done, I'll be able to connect your child because he's slayed down for the gods.
Well, listen.
But anyway, that's a sore.
I need my fangs. I need my fangs though.
You want fangs?
I
want fangs. I want fangs too. Okay. Anyway, so let's take it a step further. I have these conversations all the time on my platform, and the black women don't seem to be here for certain things that it seems that black men won't, especially on a sexual level. Hell, most of the black women on my platform pushed against even finding a good qualified bisexual man qualified because he was bisexual. And they didn't give a damn how high the credit score was. They didn't give a damn how much he loved Jesus and God and how much he was this and that. The fact that he was bisexual or trans attracted disqualified him. And nobody could give me what I would have considered a substantial, legitimate excuse for why they felt the way they felt, and they did not want to accept that they might be suffering from internalized homophobia. So they didn't want to accept that, but at the same time wanted to disqualify bisexual and or trans-attracted men as potential candidates for romantic partnerships. So yeah.
Okay, well, I think a lot of that is internal homophobia, because I feel like this right here. I am a person that I like to have one partner. That's just me. But if I was not dating now, if I was into trying to get with a female and see what that's like, or butch or whatever the case, if I was into playing with trans men and all this other stuff, like if I was into all of that, like that's something that I'm willing to explore. I'm not going to sit out here and look at another man who is wanting to be explorative and say ew, because again, that's not me. I think for another female to look at another man and say, well, why you want to be bisexual? Bitch, because I'm into exploring. Like, bitch, you want me to hit your spot. I want somebody to hit my spot. Now, the next thing, wait, hold on. So, if I want somebody to hit my spot, are you going to put a strap on? And see, me personally, I know what see, I can't do that hard plastic shit. Bitches got to feel like real shit. You know what I'm saying? Real
Sometimes
shit.
the real shit be feeling like real Texas wood.
Oh my God, like, what the fuck?
But look at the comment, like, ma'am, is it Mama Duck SC says, I think there is a fear that that the man might be more attracted to other men than to them. So this is what I propose to women who felt that way. When you get into a relationship with anybody, they don't stop being attracted, period, to other people. So even if your bisexual partner is more attracted to men than he is to women, but he's obviously with you, then that means that his attraction for you succeeds all his other attractions in general, and that he's willing to commit to building a relationship to you regardless of his attractions to other people. Because even if he wasn't bisexual and he was straight, he wouldn't stop being attracted to more beautiful women. He wouldn't stop being attracted to more pretty women, just like women not only attracted to their man, they still attracted to men largely. They can still identify.
Right, you're not gonna stop being attracted to the opposite sex, the same. Like, just because, and I say this to people all the time, just because you get in a relationship with somebody don't mean that people around you stop being attracted. I'm gonna still look at a piece of ass and be like, damn. I'm gonna still see some cups and be like, oh. I'm gonna still see a pretty woman.
You must want to do that outside of my periphery or get Christian.
No. So here's what I'm saying. There's a way to do it and not be disrespectful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's a way to look at somebody and be like,
could be with me plucking your eyeballs out your head, and now I got a legally blind boyfriend.
So let's do this. Let's say me and Consciouz is dating, right? And I just happen to see if that another man walk by and he's equally as beautiful as Consciouz.
Could never.
You said never?
Could
okay. Never. So I'm gonna look at him and be like, okay. I'm like, babe, you see that? That's cute. And we just keep moving. But the problem comes in, hey Miko, the problem comes
Bring Miko up here. Come up here,
Can she
Miko.
come on here?
Send me a request. Yeah, you know, you can do 4 ways of menage a trois now on Instagram, girl. Yep.
Well, I feel like when it gets disrespectful, that's when it becomes a problem.
Okay, so
Because I shouldn't be with you. I shouldn't be with you and start looking at somebody else and start gawking after them.
that part.
Because that's real disrespectful.
Yeah. Unless y'all got it like that, but I mean, it's just kind of unnecessary to just
No, I think it's
so self-expressive about how another mother lover
yeah.
looks to you. Like
I'm
I
happy.
didn't need all that information unless I need all that information.
I'm happy with who I'm with, and I just acknowledge some beauty that just walked by. That's all. Like it would be no disrespect to you. It would just honestly be, and I'm going to my seat.
Okay, well, what if your partner asked you to not acknowledge other people being attractive? Like, would you, out of respect for them, choose not to then?
I mean, there's a way to not acknowledge it, but you can still see it. Like, you know, like me and them talk, me and you talking, and I just be like, all right, blah 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 blah. You know, like.
So then, what we're really talking about is the fact that there may possibly be a lot of insecure people in relationships, why they can't withstand the reality that their partners are, in fact, attracted to other people, but it's not necessarily something that has to be detrimental to the relationship.
Right. I agree with that. I agree that sometimes you get in relationships and people are insecure with themselves. You're fine. Like you could look at someone and be like,
that's a deal breaker for me.
Insecurity.
Yes, I can't. And I know people say it's unrealistic CTV.
I dated somebody like that, and I had to break up because I was like, I'm not about to be arguing with you every day about somebody texting me, about somebody looking at me, about somebody just saying hi to me, about all of this. Oh, y'all fucking now. Like, whoa.
Like you signed up to date a bad bitch. What did you think came with all this? I mean, like the fuck?
Period.
You signed up to be with America's Most Wanted. What the fuck you thought the America's Most Wanted relationship was going to be like, Miss Mamas? Okay, you was going to have to deal with being confident enough to survive all of the desirability around the mother lover.
Right.
So, are you and your man where y'all at as far as y'all bedroom politics? Are y'all on y'all monogamous stuff, or do y'all open up the bedroom to another big booty power bottom to slay you and him in the bedroom, or a power top for that matter?
Well, we're not open to that. Well, we've had these conversations.
I heard a lot of hesitation in the word "we," so it sounds like I don't know if we not open to that. Somebody don't need to be open to that, but I didn't get a confident we not open to that.
Love you too, man. Love you too.
Corday, this is about a conversation you can invite yourself into so you can play catch up, because I'm sure you have some very unorthodox views on the subject.
Me personally, so let me be honest about this. Me personally, I've done the threesome thing before. I've done all that before. I'm just not into it. You know, let me say this. My experiences I did not like because it just did not go the right way.
Okay, so what does that mean it didn't go the right way?
So this is a long story, but at this point, I'm just really not into it because, the person who I was talking to, you know what? Maybe I just had a bad experience.
It sounds like you just had a bad experience.
Maybe I just had a bad experience. I think that's what it was. But it has been a conversation with us.
But what happened? Did somebody Picasso you?
No.
Was it some jealousy in the room?
It was some jealousy in the room, and it was like somebody who I thought I was talking to gave somebody else more attention than that they was giving me, And
Oh,
then,
you was the one with the problem.
yeah, I was one
Okay.
of
All
the
right.
problem.
That's
I was,
honest. I appreciate
I'm
that.
being
That's
honest.
very honest.
I'm being
Okay.
honest. I was the one with the issue because one, I was we were at an event, and me and this person, we was kicking it and talking, had been talking for a while. And so, baby, this ain't tea. Sweetheart, this ain't tea. I told this before. But me and him was in the room, and I thought the person who was in the other bed was asleep. So me and him freaking, right? And next thing I know, I feel another dick slide up on mine. I'm like, I was like, whoa, what? And so it caught me off guard. And the person who I was screwing was just going with it. And it was a turn off for me. I was like, I was not expecting this. Listen, I was not ready for this. I'm just,
Oh, so this
yeah.
was like on some spontaneous,
Yeah.
like this wasn't something that was like mapped
Yeah.
out and
Wait a minute.
thought out. It just the threesome pulled up on you.
Yeah. And then
Somebody
it was another
snatched you in.
situation. It was another situation where, we had me and some friends, one dude who I was liking, we was all at the house, we was kicking it. And so I got tired and went up to my room and went to sleep. And so I stayed in the townhouse. So I didn't realize that they was downstairs getting it on. So they come upstairs, try to get in the bed with me, try to get it on with me. And I'm looking like, the hell y'all doing? So
Why you always end up in these hoe infused environments? Like the environment be infused with whorism.
Listen, I was surrounded by DL church people, so everybody trying to hide and then be freaking and crazy at the house.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is stuff that really be hiding behind them Christian
Oh,
walls.
absolutely, baby. Oh, yes, wow. God. Absolutely.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The doors of the church are certainly motherfucking open. I think clearly those were definitely bad, unplanned experiences. I think in a controlled circumstance, yes, you could enjoy yourself. It just has to be more structured than the devil pulled up in you in those instances. You need a divine threesome, not a unholy trinity going on. Yeah. Those were unholy.
Maybe if that was the situation, I may be open to it. But I was like,
because what you think sex gonna look like between you and your dude like 10 years from now? Like, do you think like for the people who argue that sex gets sales with the same person, do you think that's true? That
I think when sex is your goal, sex is your focus. Because again, I think you should keep it spicy. But my thing is, and it's always been scary, is sleeping with multiple people can get risky. That's my thing. Well, sleeping with multiple people can, especially when people don't protect themselves. And see, me personally, I've always been a person that I'm like, my body is my body, and what you don't appreciate, I do appreciate. I appreciate living. I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, making sure that I'm on this side of the ground, And if somebody's sick or don't want to tell me their stuff, I can't deal with that stuff like that because I'm like, and it's not that I hate somebody because somebody said it exposes way too much and it's risky. Period, honey. That's all I'm saying.
Well. To speak on behalf of the sex positive community.
I'm sex positive.
When we think of sex, we shouldn't necessarily assume that it's being done in the way that P. Diddy did it behind the scenes. But like, you can be a slut and a whore and be healthy and responsible. You can have standards and processes in place. The use of condoms. They now have HIV at home test kits. You guys can plan out to, you can require paperwork, etc. Like, it's not like you're just necessarily busting it wide open and just ain't taking names and just taking all cum shots to the face. I mean, you can be a responsible whore. Porn stars do it all the time. OnlyFans models do it all the time. Sex workers, prostitutes, etc. Like, there's a lot of responsible whores in the world. So.
Well, let me tell you something. I am not bashing nobody who likes to have miles. Don't have a lot of miles on me, and I like sex. I really do. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I've always been the type of person, I don't need everybody knowing what it's like to be with me. That's my thing. And that's why even growing up, even after coming out, like I look at people like I'm like, oh, they fine, they fine. That's great. They're fine. They're beautiful. They're handsome. Whatever. I don't want to fuck them. Excuse me. I don't want to do anything because I'm just like, it's okay. Like sometimes you can acknowledge the car and don't want to drive it. Sometimes you can acknowledge the cake, no pun
And not
intended,
eat it.
and not eat it. You know.
That part. Okay.
Well, I do like cake.
Yes, we all do.
All pun intended, both ways.
All pun intended. So, what are you gonna do with this bisexual side? Like, if you ever get to a point where you really feel like I need to really explore this, because I explored my bisexual side last year. Are you gonna tell? Is that a conversation that you're gonna have with your partner? Like,
So he doesn't believe me, right? So
because he knows
he.
how much of a big bottom you actually are.
Oh, I like that you think I'm a bottom. You know we've had this conversation before. Don't get on this. Don't get on this motherfucking line and try to play with me.
Necessarily bottom, but I think it will be unlawful if you got them Cinderella cakes stacked up like that, and you don't allow no man to indulge occasionally.
Who
on
said
his
I didn't?
birthday.
Who said I didn't?
So then, are we claiming the title of what?
I've always said that I'm a top, but I'm verse.
Okay, so you a versatile top.
Yeah.
A verse top. Nice. Okay. Nice.
I never, because I'm telling you, the reason why I became that was because in my last relationship that I was in, I had made up my mind. I was like, I never want my partner to have to get anything anywhere else.
Okay.
Oh, I guess this person said they're versatile bottom. Okay, kudos. Because baby, I know they ain't talking about me, so fuck that.
Look, like verse is verse. Don't get caught up in the semantics, okay? So, are you saying that you only bottom out of sacrifice for your partner? Like, you don't personally enjoy the feeling of big grown man meat just plowing and wowing and stretching and vibrating and plunging into you and making you resting your femininity?
Yes.
My papa calling me too. Hold on. Hey,
What?
Pops, I'm gonna call you when I get off live.
Huh?
Hey, I'm gonna call you when I get off live. All right, bye.
Close my door.
That's what you're supposed to do. You can't be scared to say that, Mario.
I'm back.
So first of all, I feel like this. I've done things before.
But did you enjoy them? I know you have to.
First of all, I think the biggest that I've ever taken was a 10.
Oh,
and
you real versatile.
No, baby, this was early. This was early in my 20s.
You born certified verse.
Baby, this was early in my 20s. I was like,
my God,
I was in tears. You hear me? I was in tears.
You should have been.
And you know, it was. I was like, oh my God. And so the only reason why I did that was because I just got through, plowing him. So I was like, okay, I'll be nice. I'll be nice, and I'll let you,
that
whatever.
Same energy.
And so I was like, And so after that, I think I tried it maybe 2 times, but it was later on in life. And I'm like, baby, I can't do all that. Like, a 9 was good for me.
I'm gonna be honest. We probably should have changed. I'm either gonna have to change the title of this video or just add some commas in the title of the video. But I can take a big cockadoodle but I actually prefer fun size.
Yeah, like okay, listen. It was a 9 and it was normal.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like whoa.
Okay, so it had length, but it didn't have like massive girth.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Cause you can, yeah, cause it's easier to take length versus width. Width requires a lot of speaking in tongues. Length just requires breathing, but width requires a breathing and a speaking in tongue session. It's collaborative effort on both sides. So what is it that you like about the top position? Like, you like the submissiveness of a man? You like, what is it that, like, makes you crave to be the top in the situation? Like, what is your body communicating to you?
Honestly, it's just the feel of it. Like, it's just, you know, me personally, I know, like, I would have to be in the mood to take.
Yeah.
But I like the way ass feels. I love the way.
What does it feel like? Because all ass is not made equal.
No, it's not. And that is so the truth. I mean, I love when a person takes care of themselves and it just feels just like heaven.
What does heaven feel like? Like, what is the physical description of heaven? Like, what does that feel like?
It's like
it's like being inside of a pillow. Like, what is it?
No, hell no, not no damn pillow. Oh my God. How do I? Okay, so you know them little damn. You know those squishy things that they're like a little cylinder, and you can play with it, and it's squishy.
Oh. A cylinder squishy object?
Damn, I don't even know what to call them, but it's like a silicone. No, that's not even. Damn, it's just like.
That's still ain't telling me what it feels like, though.
Okay, what it feels like is.
Are we talking about tight, wet, and hot?
No.
Or cold, wide, and noisy?
No, baby, it's got to be warm. It's got to be nice and moist. It's got to be like as soon as you put it in, it's like, oh, let me stop. Okay.
Like meat falling off well done barbecue, just right off the bone.
No, baby, that's loose pussy. That's
okay.
That's loose. Okay, so let me just say it like this. It's gotta be moist, it's gotta be tight, it's gotta be like you put it in and it's just like your dick just like it's like suction cups. And like as soon as you put it in, pull it out, it's just like it'll make you nut quick.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for describing myself.
Oh.
That was very kind of you.
You putting a dick out there.
But the reason why I said all pussy is not made equal is because I had a ex-boyfriend. This was like my second boyfriend. And he was top, but he used the bottom to show that he loved me. But he had trash vagina. In terms of like, there was just his vagina didn't feel like anything. Like, it was actually kind of cold and clammy. And I assume this is what people mean by like bad coochie. Like, there is like
cold and clammy?
Yeah, there's like pussy that is just like, you know the difference between existing and living? You got Bucci that's just existing, it ain't really living. It's walking around as a shell of itself. Cold and clammy pussy.
How can somebody's stuff be cold?
I don't know. I thought maybe at that time I was like, what, 18? I'm like, maybe because he's been atop his whole life, he just don't activate energy in that region of his body. Oh. And it's just, don't nobody live there really. It's like cold and clammy like the empty house. You know, it's inoccupied.
So, okay, wait. So can't nobody asshole be cold. So let me just say
yes,
like this.
It can.
let me say like this. Hey, what's up, cousin? I feel like this.
Everybody pussy is not at a 70-degree and up temperature.
Wait, hold
Some
on.
pussy is at room temperature. Some pussy is giving real.
Somebody said his root chakra was not inactivated.
That part.
So, okay, I feel like this. I feel like what will make it feel like that is if they're just there. And you got to do all the work. What makes it good is when you're putting in the work and they're putting in the work. See, see these folks that be talking, they going for hours.
But does that still generate the feeling though? Like, because I said, but does that still generate a good feeling?
Absolutely.
Because
listen, okay,
because he was working cold and clammy. He was popping the cooch.
Was you fucking a corpse?
No, what? Why are you acting like all pussy is?
No, I mean, because I'm gonna tell you something. What I've had,
When
no,
we
it's
say
not all the same.
ass is bad, or we say bad pussy, aren't we like? Doesn't this fall into like that category? Because what does those statements mean? If there's a category for like not good puss or not good pussy, we know not good DICK is just like limp, stiff, and you can't like not stiff, but limp. Maybe can't get it up. Maybe don't know what to do with it. But when we're talking about the internal parts, right? And we have a bad category. We have good ass. Because you even said, I like ass good, which means that you also know ass can be good, right? But assuming you never experienced cold and clammy, what you mean by bad ass is non-hygienic booty, Picasso booty, loose.
I've had Picasso.
Loose booty, which I'm going to assume loose. I never had loose booty, but I'm assuming loose booty is cold and clammy, right? No?
Probably.
Loose booty still hot and horny?
It can be.
Loose booty? Really?
You know what? I take that back. I've had cold pussy before.
Okay, see, there you go. I'm about to say, just keep.
I've had it before.
I know you about 40. Just keep on flipping through the index of life. You'll find cold and clammy. So
I'm still desirable.
Period. And it is. So cold and clammy. I'm glad we can reach cold and clammy.
I've had. You know what? As I think about it, it was cold, clammy, and it was very loose.
Wow. Oh, I got lipstick back on my teeth. Wow, really? So what? I never had loose puss. So is it like just being in air? What does like loose?
Hon, it's just like.
I never had loose pussy, y'all. Cause my top didn't top like that. He only topped out of sacrifice, so he still had all the stitching and the lining and the zippers on his stuff.
Someone said balsamic bologna.
Okay, so.
Oh no, I'm sorry, balsamic vagina. It was like, oh my God, it was just like
Uneventful, boring.
Yeah,
there.
It was wet. It was cold. As I think about it, it was wet, cold, and it felt like he was just fucking pillows. There was no grip. There was no grip.
Oh.
Yeah, no grip.
Wow.
No grip.
And guess what? Nobody taught us about these things. A mess.
Sure. Like
okay, so let's can the sex conversation because I gotta go eat. However, as it relates to
Blueface,
the whole,
Blueface,
the whole gay thing. Let me ask the audience: what is the turn off about intentionally? I can't say intentionally. What is the turn off of having a queer child? We can't answer that because we queer, so we know, we don't know what that mindset would be like. So for the audience, because in the black community it said that we're more celebratory of race, of having a thug as a son, or having a stripper as a daughter, than having a lesbian as one, or a same gender loving son as one. So, but why? What is it? Is it ingrained in ideology and mythology and religiosity? Is it just, do most people not even know what really they are pushing against? So it's just something that they're just taught to have a adverse reaction to. Or is there some substantive reason for the why the problem exists? What's so disheartening and so about having a queer child?
Okay.
Because what if his son would have? Because my curiosity would have been, in his case, and many queer people are going to have to come out the closet. What would Blueface have done had his 6-year-old said, "Yeah"?
Probably would have beat the hell out of him.
My daughter is lesbian. I just fear for her safety. People are crazy. Society and the overall judgment. Somebody else
You know,
said,
there's different kinds of there's different kinds of LGBTQ individuals. There's different kinds of gay men. Now, here's the funny part about this. I'm gay.
as hell.
I think, yeah, as hell. And, you know, even when I go to like functions and stuff like that, people do not know that I'm gay. I mean, unless I got rainbows and shit on like this. But like I've gone to church functions and people not know anything about that. And they're still trying to push their little daughters and shit off on me. And then some people, you know, they just know me, or, you know, they got that discernment and say, "Hey, girl," I'm like, "Hey, niece, how you doing, girl?" You know, but everybody's not like that. You know, some people, they just, that's their aura. My aura is not that. And I mean, that's not to say it to sound ignorant, but it's just like, I carry myself very different. I do. I carry myself very different. Um, but you know what? I'm in a space in my life. I was looking at some Balenciaga Vibram heels yesterday. I was like, "Oh, them is cute." I saw RuPaul with them on, so I was like, "Oh, I wouldn't mind trying them
Oh, we
on."
don't
You know,
support Balenciaga.
we don't. What's wrong with Balenciaga?
The child sacrificing, child exploitative Balenciaga.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that. Okay, all right. If you say no, okay,
Yeah.
then I'll just all right.
Yes, we leave it.
But I'm like, I just feel like in this life, we gotta stop this like trying to hate somebody because your child is gay or somebody else's child is gay. That's a soul, that's a life, that's a person. If that's not what you chose for your child, then cool. You didn't choose that. But that child, that person, that human being is going to have to grow up and make choices and decisions for themselves. You can't make those choices and decisions for them.
I don't think a lot of parents know that. I don't think a lot of parents know that. Like, they know it. No, they don't even know it up here. I was going to say they know it intellectually, but they don't know it in here. But they actually don't know it up here or in here. I don't think that's why I call it parental narcissism. I don't think a lot of parents realize that their children are not their personal chia pet. That your
They want you
child
to
is not
save
your
this
personal
and bring
mannequin.
it on YouTube.
Huh?
They want you to save this and then put it on YouTube.
I may do that. I may do just that. Yeah, a lot of parents think that their children are their personal chia pets and are their personal mannequins. This is why you hear in the black community coming up, "Do as you're told,"
Do as I say,
etc.
not as
Yeah,
what you see.
you are spoken at, not necessarily spoken to. Um, you know, there's this idea of honoring thy mother and father beyond all else. There is, "I made you and I can take you out of here you hear a lot of that rhetoric, and you come to know that, oh, this is my lived experience and reality as a soul within a body is about you. It don't even have nothing to do with me. I'm a project. I'm just your little personal Ken or Barbie, and that's the way most children are raised. So I think, yeah, there has to be a big conversation that we have to have around parenting, for one, and what it is and what it ain't supposed to be. And then from there, unmantle all the other bullshit.
Well, and also, you know, parents, especially black parents, treat their children like, you know what I'm saying, like,
Intellectual property.
yeah, like property, and like, you gonna do as I say. And it's like, well, what if I don't want to be a doctor? What if I don't want to be a lawyer? What if I don't want to be a garbage man? What if I don't want to work in your business and I want to develop my own business?
What if I want to date outside my race?
Yeah, what if I want to date outside my race? What if I actually like a white person and they're actually good to me and they do understand what is, you know, they understand they can never be black, but they're understanding of my blackness. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like we should stop it, because even that goes into the biblical thing of.
But look at what Doc says: children desires don't matter.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, but do you agree with that? That the desires. Now, hold on, Doc. Who are you calling children? Are you talking about like prepubescent, or are you talking about like anybody who ain't old enough to have their own place and pay their own damn bills falls under the category of child? Can you break what you mean by child down so I can understand?
When I was raising my niece, my little Charlie.
How old was she?
Oh, I mean, she's still around, but Charlie's like 11, 12, something like that right now.
Okay.
So I would always ask her, and I raised her from a little baby all up to now. I would always ask her what she wanted to be. Funny part is, she wanted to do what Uncle Mario does. She wants to take care of pets. So I said, okay. I said, you want to be a veterinarian? I want to leave this subject because it'll make me start crying, because that's the whole situation. I love kids. But she wanted to do what Uncle Mario does, you know. She wants to take care of animals. She wants to be like a veterinarian and everything like that, which I think is just really beautiful.
Yeah.
Because again, I think people really misunderstand that, you know, what you do can indirectly teach your child about things. So me, even though I'm a YouTube content creator and I create crowns, by the way, y'all can go over to my page, House of Crowns by King Jives. Shameless plug. And yeah, they do start at $2,000, but I'm just saying, praise God.
But they last a lifetime.
A lifetime, baby. You get a case and pillows, all of that. Put it in your curio cabinet. Anyways, but so like me being a creative person, that was in front of her in her life, and so she picked out something that I do in my life and decided to do that. She wants to do that. You know, she loves animals, and so you build off of that. You get what I'm saying? You build off of, you know, this is what she likes to do. She loved to play with the dogs, loved to feed the fish, loved to do all those things, take care of the animals and stuff. And so you just build off of that. And it had nothing to do with being gay. If that was something, or that is something that she chooses later on in life, that's her choice, that's her decision. Yeah. But she liked what Uncle Mario did. She liked something that I did, which was some part of me was taking care of animals. Yeah. And she's very artistic. I am that, you know.
What is something that you have like a strong belief against?
As far as?
I mean, just anything. Like anything that you just have strong belief against. Like, not anything like violent or criminal per se, but just like morally. Like, just one thing that you feel like that you like on a moral level, like, no.
I don't know. I would just morally.
Mm-hmm. Because sometimes I'll tell you why I said. Because sometimes I be trying to like I put myself in the shoes of people who are different than me. So I be trying to understand like what would be the like if I'm trying to relate to how homophobes and transphobes and queer folks feel. What would be my equivalent to homophobia? I don't know what my equivalent would be, but so for you, like you have very strong Christian-oriented convictions, like Christ is your Lord and Savior, etc. You don't do religion, but you do the spirituality of Christianity and the love of Christ and
You know, I'm
the
a very much
tenets and teachings
sort
of
of
that.
Christian.
Yes,
So
but
I would
so hold on.
say,
So my question to you would be, like, how would you overcome her? Like, if she became like if she was 15 and she was like, Uncle, I don't believe in Christ. I actually like the teachings of Satanism, and she really been studying like this religion on the back end, and she really been like looking at stuff on the internet and getting educated, and she really identifies with the tenets of Satanism. And not only does she identify, and she really feel compelled and convicted about this religion, but she also wants like your support. She wants you to go to a Satanist church. Sometimes she wants you to take her to a Satanist church. She wants you to like approve of her attending Satanist church every now and again, dropping her off, picking her up, like, and she and this means a lot to her. That's exactly how homophobes be looking at us when we say we're gay. Like, completely like, you got me
okay.
F all the way up. You got me F all the way
So I wouldn't be very supportive of that because, like, me personally, like, I don't see. Yeah, whatever. Like, I don't even really know how to respond to that. But I feel like this.
So
I feel
so that right there is exactly what we're asking homophobes to do. We're asking them to take something they have no rational logical, like they have nothing to help them with that, and all they have is their beliefs and what and just how that sounds, what that feels like, and they're like, no. But we would tell the homophobe that's completely inhumane and ridiculous, and you should forfeit your right to believe what you want in order to provide a safe space for this other person you love to be able to exist in. But now you have found a circumstance in your life that you would be like, oh, girl, now I know what this would feel like to have to support something you don't necessarily believe in, that you don't think is right, that you don't believe is right, and you wouldn't be able to extend that support that you want.
I'll say this, because that's not my judge. That's not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like this. That's not something that I particularly believe in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say that you just gotta do what you want to do. I mean, my thing is
Because at that
like
point, right, you probably wouldn't be comfortable with her. Like, you probably would be very now kind of have some anxiety. Like, girl, what you doing in that damn room? Like, what you are you casting spells?
Well, see,
Like,
here's the
what
thing.
you like? What's your
Conscious.
mm-hmm.
Hold on. The more I think about it, the more I understand that. I think when we think of Satan, we think of this man with his red horns and everything of that nature, and the stories that we're told. What I do understand in spirituality is this, and a lot of people may not like this when I say this. There's good and there's bad. And what we've been programmed to understand certain things about Satan and all of this nature and stuff like this. But I do understand that a lot of the stories that we have been told has been wrong. Now, I don't know anything about Satanism. I don't know anything. I have no idea. But, you know, from what I saw, they do sacrifices in blood and all this. Well, and I'm like, well, I know some spiritual people who do that too, but whatever. I don't understand it. I would love my child. I would love my niece. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what's going on, though. You know, I'm not going to throw you away. You know, that you still blood of
Would
my
they
blood,
be able
bone of
to
my.
openly practice Satanism in your house?
See, I don't know what all that entails.
Just whatever you think it entails. It just entails them having the liberty to not obviously do anything that it could be criminalized for, but it just it would entail them having the freedom to just show up as a Satanist, to be able to sit at the dinner table and say amen to Lucifer for the food and the bread and the wine provided, being able to attend a Satanist church.
I'm sorry.
And
I'm not with it.
so
You know,
then,
wait, hold on before you even say that. This is something totally different from
nah,
being gay.
I'm not saying it's the same. I'm just saying, I'm just bringing I'm looking for the same principle. So we're not going to look, so we ain't got to get into, because obviously it is two different things, but the same in principle, because the principle is these are all ideals that control and inspire us to act the way we act and to show up how we show up. And what we're doing with the subject of sexuality is we're asking people to decolonize their mind. And people don't want to decolonize certain things that are in their brain because they want their beliefs. They want to be able to believe that, and they've developed a right and a wrong as a result of the narratives they've told themselves again and again and again and again about a certain thing. So people who were raised up their whole life seeing a non-queer society, being told by the church it's an abomination and don't you support that and it's from the devil and these people are weird and these saving and you ain't got to unalive them. You ain't got to mistreat them, but you do have the right to not support them because you got a right to believe what you want to believe. What's the difference between their right to not necessarily hurt or harm queer people, but they just don't want to participate in supporting queer people, and your right to not support Satanism and those who practice Satanism, even though they're not hurting and harming nobody? There is no difference. So that means that you would have to not be a hypocrite, and you would have to do what you're asking homophobes to do, which is you will have to challenge yourself to find some way to have a tolerance, which isn't necessarily a acceptance, and some queer people would still be unhappy with tolerance because they feel like tolerance is not love per se. I would beg to differ. I think that tolerance has its place on the spectrum of love, because I think love exists at various dimensions and levels, and at the most immature of levels, tolerance can be on the love spectrum. But as we deepen, tolerance can transform and evolve into acceptance. It can evolve into some wonderful things. But I wanted to be able to put you in the shoes of the homophobes, because I realized that that's really what they're pushing against. They're not pushing against us. They're pushing against what they believe. They're what they struggle with is what's been in their minds, what they've been told, what they've developed a God complex around. And we're asking anybody, not just homophobes. We're asking racists. We're asking homophobes. We're asking xenophobes. We're asking arachnophobes. We're asking all the phobes to change their internalized bullcrap in exchange for an attitude that can even the scale for other people, that can make the world a little better for those black people if we just worked on our anti-blackness and internalized pale supremacy, if we just worked out our transphobia and our queer phobia. And I realized, Jives, that people don't like changing their mind, which is why people struggle to repent, because that's really what repentance is also calling for. Repentance is calling for the decolonization and deconstruction of your mindset, because where the mind goes, the body follows. So spirit knows that what's in here has a lot to do with how this apparatus, how this flesh puppet goes about and the choices it makes, because of all the ish that's in here. It's what's creating those impulses.
Okay.
And this is the hardest thing for us to transform, is our
So I
mind.
just want to move on from this because I don't want to
But
stay
let's get the
stuck
hell
on.
off. I'm hungry.
You okay? You want to get off? Okay.
Yes, I'm hungry. And I will call you after my fat ass is done binging like a 16-year-old lonely girl who has nothing but Jerry Springer in front of her and a schoolgirl crush on the hottest senior walking about. So shall we continue to call CPS on Blueface?
I mean, if y'all want to call CPS, shit, y'all go right ahead on. Like, I feel bad for the child though. I mean, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. And let's end on this. Let's end on this. We can call CPS all day. I don't know the living conditions that child is in right now. I don't know.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. His Blueface is his damn dad.
I understand that, but I'm saying Blueface may very well be taking good care of his child. I don't know.
Okay,
that.
so good care is probably the subjective part. Because what's considered good care?
I'm saying I don't know the living outside of that we saw. I don't know. Now again,
we know that his daddy also is facing gun charges. He beats on women. We can assume if he has no disregard for women and he has nationalized and televised his bad behavior, God only knows how much of this happens in front of his son, how much fussing, fighting, arguing, and ghetto shit takes place. But you're right, that would be an assumption. I'm clear. That would be an assumption. But when it comes to Blueface, the fact that he is about to be on Cell Block 8 with Big Dick Derek getting plumaged and rummaged all in his booty hole because he got charges.
Dick Derek?
Big Dick Derek is the head inmate in charge who gets all the booty holes of the new inmates in formation.
Good night, Conscious. Good night.
Night, love. I'll call you later.
Bye.